Morning, friends. I am April Wolf, the Wolf Ranch Girl, and today I'm going to be taking on my teacher life role, and we're going to be talking about the difference between Chromebooks and desktops. With everybody getting ready to go back to school, I really feel like this is something that'll help both educators and parents and even some students maybe. My filming location is a little bit different today. My normal camera setup is not working for me today, so if things are a little bit shaky, I do apologize. And I may have to stop and adjust some things, but we're going to go ahead and get started. So what we're going to be looking at today is the difference between a Chromebook and a computer. Joining me today are two of my kids. So one of my kids is getting ready to start 3rd grade, and one of them is getting ready to start 7th grade. And both of them use Chromebooks at school, correct? Yeah. Yep. So they're fairly familiar with how to use Chromebooks. Okay, so can you guys, one of you or both of you, can you guys tell me what a Chromebook is?
Chromebook is basically a computer, but it's different and does a different stuff that computers can do.
Okay. What about you, Walker?
Chromebook is
This is his first video debut. It's a little nerve-wracking.
I don't really know how to explain.
Is it different than a regular computer?
Yes.
Yes, very different. Okay, so can you guys pick up your Chromebooks? Okay, so show me yours. Okay, and then show me yours. Okay, so do they look the same?
Yes.
They do?
No. Okay, no.
No, they don't look the same, right?
No.
Yours is white and it's made by Acer, and yours is silver and it's made by Samsung, right? So they look different, but do they work the same way?
Yes.
Yeah. So Walker, you can go and log into Christian's Chromebook and it works exactly the same way, right?
Yep.
And Christian, you can log into Walker's Chromebook and it works exactly the same way, right?
Yes.
Right. Okay, so now can you guys pick up the laptop? Okay. Does it look the same?
Yeah.
Kind of, right?
Kind of, but no.
So it's a little bit bigger. And you can still pick it up and move it around, right? But when you open it up, does it work the same as your Chromebooks?
No, not at all.
Not at all, right? Okay, so let's just take a break for a minute. So before we get started, I just want to let everybody know that nobody really knows what is going on right now, and whatever decision that you make for your child is going to be the best decision, and don't feel guilty about it, and don't let other people make you feel guilty about it. So everybody's just doing the best that they can. So what I'm hoping to do in this the next series of videos is to address some basic technology knowledge for parents, for students, and for teachers. So in this series, I'm first going to discuss the difference between Chromebooks and regular computers, and then we're going to look at accessing. I'm going through my 15 pages of notes here. Then we're going to look at accessing Google Classroom, so a parent knows what to look at for a student, or if they're trying to help their student, and then also how to set up a Google Classroom as a teacher. And I may even go into the Bitmoji Classroom if time allows before our school actually starts. So this is going to be a multiple video series over, I guess, components of remote learning. Okay, while Chromebooks and laptops look very similar and they have some similar qualities, for instance, both of them are light, both of them are portable, both of them can access the internet, there are some very, very big differences that people need to know about. So I'm going to refer to a Chromebook as a Chromebook, and then I'm going to refer to a laptop, a desktop, whether it is a Windows-based machine or a Mac-based machine, as a PC, which just means personal computer, okay? So PCs can do infinitely more than a Chromebook can do. A PC has a hard drive, a PC has RAM, it has significantly bigger hard drive so that you can load programs onto that machine, and those programs are accessible regardless of whether you have internet access. Okay, so a Chromebook also has RAM, and it also has a hard drive, much smaller, much smaller than a PC would have, because it is not meant for anybody to load programs onto it. This machine is meant to access web-based content only. Now, some Chromebooks are starting to evolve to where they have bigger hard drives and can do more, but we're not going to look at that. We want to focus on the differences between the PCs and the Chromebooks and not go into too much technical detail. So on my laptop or on my PC, I can load the full versions of Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, Photoshop, my video editing software that I utilize. And I can take my laptop with me in whether I'm in a car or a plane, whether I'm taking it back and forth to school, and I can work on those files and editing that content without ever having to have internet access. Okay, so that is the biggest difference between a PC and a Chromebook. Now, on a Chromebook, I can access anything that is web-based, okay? So anything that's on the internet. So when I open up the Chromebook, I log in utilizing my Gmail account, whether it's a personal Gmail account or whether it is a work-based Gmail account. In my case, I'm a teacher, so I have a school Gmail account. And all of my settings and all of my allowances are tied to that user account. Okay, so with my Chromebook or any Chromebook that I happen to be using, I'm going to log in and, excuse me, I'm going to be able to access any kind of online content. So I can go on and check my bank account. I can access Canva and do some photo editing. I can upload or transfer images from Google Photos to Shutterfly and create a photo book from there. Everything is internet based with this machine. And that's why students use it. One, it's less expensive, it's easily portable, and then everything can be accessed online. So as a teacher, I can open up my Google Classroom and I can put documentation or assignments or videos or links to videos in my Google Classroom and make that available online to my students. Then my students get on their Chromebook, they log into their account, and they can access that same information. So it makes information sharing much easier. And that's what is so likable and so desirable with Chromebooks. Also, it's called a Chromebook because it runs the Chrome OS, the Chrome operating system. So all computers have to have operating systems. That's the software that allows us as the user to talk to the computer. If you didn't have an operating system, then the computer wouldn't be able to understand what one mouse click is as opposed to a double mouse click, or as opposed to a right mouse click. It wouldn't be able to understand when you press an A that you're wanting an A to pop up. So different operating systems that you would be familiar with is obviously Windows, and then the Mac OS. When you're looking at mobile devices, which I would show you my phone, but I'm recording on it today. And Android uses the Android operating system, and then iPhones use the I operating system. iOS. Okay, so Chromebooks use a different operating system called Chrome that is specifically made to work with Google. Now you can access Yahoo, you can access all sorts of different search engines, but you're still using the Chrome operating system. Okay, so I have some notes here and just to keep myself on track. So let me see. So as I was saying before, with the Chromebooks, you log into your Chromebook with your Google account. So for a school will assign a student a Google account, and it may be like ours is the student's name at southforkschools.com. So mine would be my name at southforkschools.com. So even though it says southforkschools.com instead of gmail.com, it's still a Google-based account because we are a Google Apps for Education school. And most schools are, because Google makes those applications free for the most part to anybody that has a Gmail account. This is very desirable for schools because a school network administrator can go in and assign every student a user account, and then they can assign settings for that student. So they can say what websites are allowable, what websites are not allowable. They can choose whether they can print or they cannot print. All sorts of different settings can be set and then also tracked. So it's very important to understand, especially if your student or if you as a student are utilizing a device, a Chromebook from your school. Every single thing that you do is trackable. You are not invisible on the web, and every video that you click on, every keystroke or website that you visit is traceable. So the school knows what you are doing and can look back at those records. So that is very, very important. So if you are issued a device from your school, please understand that that is not your device. Just because they're allowing you to utilize it, whether you are in a school building or whether you are at home for remote learning, that is still not for personal use. You should not be watching YouTube videos unless they're assigned by a teacher. You should not be accessing Netflix or anything like that. Any kind of personal work should not be done on a Chromebook that is issued by a workplace or by a school, because you may inadvertently or even not on purpose violate one of the usage policies, which could cause some trouble for you. If you want to do those things, then utilize your personal device, and that'll keep everybody safe. Along with that, once you have a Google account, whether it's assigned by your school or if you just have a personal one, whatever settings are set to that Google account travel with you from device to device. So your Google account is not just for you to use on a Chromebook. A Chromebook is just a device. I can log into my Google account on a Chromebook, on a PC, on my phone, on my Amazon Kindle. If you have an iPad, you probably can use that. I'm not an i person, I'm an Android person, so my frames of reference are going to be based on Android devices rather than i devices. Sorry about that, iPhone users. But your Google account just travels with you. You don't have to have a Chromebook, okay? So if you forget your Chromebook, or if it's not charged and you have a PC or a desktop or a laptop or whatever just sitting around, you can get onto the internet and then go to google.com and click on Gmail and then type in your credentials, and you can access everything on your Gmail account. That is the beauty and the power of Google Apps for Education or Google Apps for Productivity. Since it's web-based, whatever you have that can access the web, you can access your files, and that's why it is so powerful. I can switch from my phone to a Chromebook to a PC to a tablet, and all of my information is there. Think of it like Netflix. You have a Netflix account and you download the app on your phone, you have the app on your TV, you have the app, or you can access the website on your PC, you have the app on your Chromebook. All of your settings and everything are on every one of those devices, because the device is just the window. It's the window to the Netflix application or the Netflix account where all of your settings are saved. So the Gmail or the Google account is exactly the same way. And this is really powerful for teachers because it takes away the excuses of people not being able to access things. So if I put content out there as a teacher, if my student has a cell phone, they can access that content. If they have a computer at home with internet, they can access that content. If they have the school issued Chromebook, they can access that content. For a student, it gives you more flexibility because you're not limited to having to be in a classroom to access content for your education. It also gives you a greater responsibility as a student because it puts you more in control of the level of, the level or the deepness that you choose to put into your own education. Because yes, a teacher is delivering the content to you, but your education and your future is completely up to you. So you're going to get out of that information what you put into it. And so if you are like, well, my Chromebook's not charged, so I just can't access that content right now, and that's going to make my assignment late. That's really not putting a lot of effort into it because you know that you have the ability to access it through your phone, through a tablet, through any other device that has internet access. As a parent, and I'm a parent as well, as a parent, you guys need to know this too, because ultimately you are responsible for your child's education until they reach an age of independence. So you need to know that these things are accessible. You need to know the different ways that you can access these things. And I'm hoping that by me putting these things out here in this video, that that's going to help you guys, especially if we are put back into a remote learning situation. So a couple of things that you need to know about a Chromebook is that the keyboard is a little bit different, and I will pop in a list that you can pause the video and read about the function keys. I'll go ahead and open this and see if I can show you guys a couple of things though with the Chromebook. Okay, so, okay, might have to put this on my face. There is no, let me see, everything's opposite here. So there is no delete key. You have a backspace key, but you do not have a delete key, okay? There is a power button, and then across the top, you really have things like volume control, and then brightness, back and forth. So these actually control, like if you're clicking on a mouse to take you back and forth on a page, reload a page. But like I said, I'll insert a clip so that you guys can see that list and pause it, even screenshot it, so you'll understand. And then the keypad is also, well, it's not a keypad. The touchpad is a little bit different. So it doesn't have a right side and a left side like a traditional laptop does. Your controls are based on how many clicks and how many fingers you have on the touchpad all at once. So to move, I'm just going to have one finger on the touchpad. To click, I'm just going to have one finger on the touchpad. To right click, I'll have two fingers on the touchpad. To click and drag, you hold down one finger and then you could use the other finger to drag across. And again, I will have another insert to show you how to use the touchpad as well. And then you can screenshot that or whatnot. So the usage is a little bit different. If you have a Mac computer, it's very similar to that. All right, so in review, let's go ahead and just look at the main points and the differences between a Chromebook and a computer. Okay, so similarities are that they are portable and that they both give you access to the internet if you have internet access. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much the similarities. They both do have RAM, which is random access memory, which is the temporary memory that makes your computer think faster. So think of yourself in the morning when you wake up and you're a little bit groggy, and then you have a cup of coffee or your choice of wake up beverage, and then your brain starts thinking faster. So the more RAM a device has, the faster it's going to be able to think, and the faster it's going to be able to complete more tasks at one time. Both devices do have hard drives, but a PC is going to have a significantly larger hard drive because it is meant to store data in that hard drive. The Chromebook is not meant for that. The Chromebook is meant to access content that is available online or via the internet. Okay, so that's the biggest difference, is that the PC is meant to be able to work within itself, like a self-contained workspace that doesn't have to have internet access, and then a Chromebook is meant for internet-based functionality. Okay. And that is the comparison between a Chromebook and a PC. So I hope that you found that information positive and productive, and it's going to help you guys navigate through this crazy thing called remote or hybrid learning that we may or may not be having in the upcoming school year. So I hope as a teacher that gives you a little bit of technical information. As a parent, that gives you some background information on the differences between Chromebooks and PCs. And then also as a student, that this helps you to understand why your devices work a little bit differently when you move from device to device. So please go ahead and look for upcoming videos where we're going to be logging into Google Classroom and Google Drive from all of these different devices that we talked about today. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more content from me, you can subscribe. And if you want to get notified when I post new content, you can go ahead and click on the notification bell. So again, I hope that you found this useful, and I hope that you join me again. And until next time, laters.